Everyone, Kyrie Irving going to the Los Angeles Lakers has been quite the circus and no headway as of late, but we do have some new updates and some new information that I think is pretty interesting and at least worth sharing in this video. So let's jump right into it. Now, right off the bat, we have Lakers may include Talen Horton-Tucker in Kyrie Deal to also get back Seth Curry based on Jovan Buha. He relayed this information earlier today that the Lakers, they want Seth Curry, right? The Nets, they don't really want to give up Seth Curry. They want to give up Joe Harris. So maybe Talen Horton-Tucker in any deal could get back Seth as well. So it would be, something along the lines of Westbrook, THT, or Westbrook goes to a third team, and then they end up getting whatever pieces from that, as well as THT, and give back Seth Curry, as well as likely Joe Harris as well, because it would be also to get Seth Curry back. Now, another thing that I think is worth mentioning, Insider predicts LA landing Kyrie Irving and Buddy Hield. CBS Sport Sam Quinn predicted that the Lakers pull off a 3-team trade to land Nets guard Kyrie Irving and Pacers guard Buddy Hield. Now, this is something I've been talking about for some time now. We'll dive into both of these, but first off, let's talk about the Kyrie deal, right? The initial Kyrie deal. Lakers, they want to get Kyrie Irving and they want Seth Curry because they want to free up cap space in order to, have that flexibility going forward. They need to re-sign LeBron James. They're going to need to extend Kyrie Irving, right? Because you don't want to trade him and then Kyrie Irving ends up getting upset and you're in the same storm that the Brooklyn Nets are currently in themselves. So they need the cap flexibility in order to do that and also put a roster and team around Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron James. Now, Joe Harris is an incredible player, and I would rather have Joe Harris over a guy like Buddy Hield, right? He's bigger. He shot the same, if not better. I believe he shot a percentage better from three, as well as a guy that is a very solid defender in this league. The concern is he's coming off of ankle surgery. So will he even play this year? And if so, how effective will he be? How healthy is he currently? So the Lakers want Seth Curry because one, they want the cap flexibility, and two, they're like, we don't even know if Joe Harris is going to play. But if the Lakers could work out a deal to where they get all three, well, then you can kind of take a flyer on Joe Harris and be a little patient. Like I said, I'd rather have Joe Harris over Buddy Hield because they make basically the same amount. So the contract is the same. So even if you go get Buddy Hield, you're still losing that cap flexibility. So no problem in taking Joe Harris. But I don't want Joe Harris unless you get Seth Curry because you still need that shooter. And if Joe Harris doesn't play this season, yeah, he might be great the following season, but you still need shooting this season. So if they could work out a deal and include THT in order to get Seth Curry on board as well as Joe Harris and Kyrie Irving, then that's a grand slam in my opinion, right? Because now you don't have the necessity of trying to rush Joe Harris back for one, because it's like we need shooting. You kind of allow him to take his time. Kyrie Irving and, Seth Curry, they're going to provide a lot of the three-point shooting. Hopefully some of the other guys with Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis on the floor, they're all going to get better open looks that they've never gotten in their careers. So guys like Walker, Austin Reeves, stuff like that, they should improve their three-point percentage because they're just going to get more open looks. Troy Brown, JTA, all of these guys. Being wide open, it's a lot easier to knock down than somebody that's contesting with a hand in your face because, you're on a team. I mean, some of them were on good teams, but, like Walker, he's on a team where he was like the number 2 guy in many ways, number 3 guy. So, of course, teams are going to hone in on him more. Now he's like the 5th or 6th guy. That goes and bodes really well. And if you could keep Kendrick Nunn, you have another guy who last time he played was a 38% three-point shooter. So now you start putting some shooting together. Joe Harris, he can kind of work his way back in. And then once he gets back, if he can get back to being Joe Harris, you got that big wing, that 3-and-D guy. He can play, the shooting guard for you. He can play, small forward for you. Like say you run LeBron at point, you have Kyrie at the 2, Joe Harris at the 3, Davis at the 4, and then, say Bryant at the 5, right? Boom. Now the Lakers are off to the races. They got the shooting, they got the defense, they got the scoring, they got everything. They're the best team in the league, in my opinion, if they were able to pull off Seth Curry, a healthy Joe Harris, a healthy Kyrie, healthy Anthony Davis, healthy LeBron James. Of course, health is always a concern. Kyrie, LeBron, Anthony Davis are probably all going to miss 20 games each. Hopefully it's not all at once, but hopefully you have that in your pocket. And then if you could get Seth in the deal, I'm all for it. But to touch on the Buddy Hield thing, which is something that I've talked about for some time. So let's assume that the Indiana Pacers deal is really on the table. That's what the reports are, right? That the Indiana Pacers are willing to trade Buddy Hield and Myles Turner for 2 first-round picks, as well as, Russell Westbrook, take on Westbrook's contract. Now, that deal in and of itself is a home run, right? Like, that is a really good deal. I don't think it's a grand slam like Kyrie Irving and the previous deal, but it's definitely a home run. Lakers are definitely one of the top teams. They got depth, they got size, they got three-point shooting, they got defense, they got a little bit of everything on that team, youth, athleticism, you name it. But very likely, the idea is, and this is what was relayed in the article, as well as something that I've been saying for a couple weeks now, which is the Nets, they need to replace Kyrie Irving. Because if they let Kyrie Irving walk, they don't have any money to replace him. It's not like if they let Kyrie Irving leave, they now have $36 million to go and get another free agent. No, they don't. They're still over the cap. And so if you were able to work out a deal where it's like, yes, now instead of you getting just first round picks and Westbrook going somewhere and now you can't replace Kyrie, what if we got you a guy in Myles Turner that could be a solid contributor now and in the future, right? Whatever you do with Kevin Durant. Now look at it like this. Let's say the Lakers trade Myles Turner, they get Kyrie Irving. Now they have Ben Simmons and Myles Turner. And then if Kevin Durant still wants out and you trade him to Boston, you could get Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown and let's just say White, Derek White, something like that. Now your starting 5 is looking really good. If you keep Seth or you keep Joe or whatever, you send both of them out, you still have guys like Patty Mills, you still have TJ Warren, guys like that. You could have a starting 5 realistically if you're the Nets, giving up Kyrie Irving, giving up Kevin Durant. You could have a starting 5 of Ben Simmons, Myles Turner, say TJ Warren, Marcus Smart, and Jaylen Brown. That is an incredible starting 5. I don't think that that's a contender, but I think that might be a better team than the Nets were last year. Because you have defense, you have size, you have playmaking, you have scoring, you have that go-to guy that proved in a finals that he could give you 20 in the fourth quarter. Like, that would be a huge pickup for the Brooklyn Nets and a complete retool because they're not in a position where they can rebuild. And in that scenario, the Lakers would end up with Kyrie Irving and Buddy Hield. Maybe you trade THT and get Seth Curry, or maybe, you trade THT and, some other piece, Wenyen Gabriel or something like that, and you get back Joe Harris and Seth Curry. You can make it work one way or another, right? You figure out a deal because especially then Myles Turner, his salary, you would need to include likely a little more salary because he's making 18, 19 million. Kyrie's making 36 million. So maybe you could work some pieces out. Now you do have the 125% rule, so you can make it work. But you add in another player here and there, and boom, now you're off to the races. And the Lakers, the grand prize would be Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving, because now you have that consistent go-to scorer. Although I still like Joe Harris, I would prefer, honestly, I would rather have the Kyrie, Joe Harris, and Seth Curry deal over the Kyrie Irving and Buddy Hield deal. But it's not too far off. Because if Joe Harris is healthy and he can be that guy again, he just provides everything that Buddy Hield does and then some. And he could be your starter. He could be a key rotation guy. And then you get Seth Curry in the deal. That, to me, that's the grand slam of grand slams. That basically solidifies the Lakers as a contender. Because the only thing they really need is three-point shooting. You end up with 3 guys that can all knock down threes, and you could still keep Kendrick Nunn. Now you have 4 guys that shot 37 to 38% from 3. Good. You're a good three-point shooting team on top of having the size and the talent and just everything. You have all the pieces to fit to go try to win Banner 18. But if your consolation prize is Kyrie Irving and Buddy Hield, that's a pretty good consolation prize. It might not be a grand slam, but it's at least a 4-run or 3-run home run. If we're sticking with the baseball analogies, right? You got 2 on base hitting the home run rather than 3. To me, you're still at least a contender. You're still one of the better teams in the Western Conference and in the entire NBA. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, healthy, you can't count them out. That team is insane. That team is so talented and would just have so many levels and ways to just attack you. So anyway, I do still think ultimately Kyrie ends up on the Lakers one way or another. We're getting all these reports. We even got a report earlier today that the Nets, they don't want Kyrie, that they want him gone. just kind of further validating that the Nets are basically over it at this point and they just want to move on for Kyrie Irving. They're just waiting for Kevin Durant to see what happens with that. Because, one, you trade KD, okay, good. Now we trade Kyrie. If you keep KD, then you could still trade Kyrie, but now you kind of know the situation. But also, if you trade Kevin Durant first, maybe you can kind of convince other teams to kind of get in the mix. Like, if Kevin Durant goes to the Celtics, do the Miami Heat now go, we just lost to them, and now they just got Kevin Durant. Maybe we should go after Kyrie Irving. He's not really our guy. He doesn't really fit our system. He's not really an organization type of guy, but, we ride it out for 1 year. Maybe they give up, throw in a Tyler Hero and some picks. That's better than what the Lakers could give. In that situation, maybe that's probably what the Nets are looking for. But in reality, I think when push comes to shove, Kyrie Irving will be a Laker. But those are my thoughts and opinions. Wanted to share this information with you. So let me know yours down in the comment section below. What do you think about this? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think, yes, trade THT, go get Seth Curry, Joe Harris, and Kyrie Irving? Work it out, whatever. Do the 3-team deal. Go get Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving. Trade Myles Turner to the Nets. Whatever you have to do, just get Kyrie Irving. Or do you think no, I prefer the Buddy Hield and Myles Turner deal over Kyrie Irving, stuff like that. I know some people are on the fence. Personally, I just think Kyrie Irving gives you a layer and consistency and just the impact that Buddy Hield and Myles Turner even collectively don't give you. It just gives you that third constant that you can count on. Assuming he plays, assuming he buys in. Of course, there's always risks when you're talking Kyrie Irving. But anyway, again, love to hear your thoughts, opinions, however you feel about it, down in the comment section below. One last little shameless plug is I did start As It Stands Lakers. It is a channel just like this, dedicated to only the Lakers, because the Lakers are my favorite team. And on this channel, As It Stands, I talk about all teams, all sports, stuff like that. We have football season coming up, so I'm definitely looking forward to that as well. And I just wanted to make a dedicated channel to the Lakers to give the ins and outs. Now, all the big stuff, all the big news and stuff, I will still post here on this channel. But if you want all the ins and outs and just rumors and theories and just discussions just strictly on the Lakers, link down in the description or in the comment section. Go check out the channel, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.